Welcome to enrichminds.com and this session on savings and budgeting. In this session, we shall be discussing the importance of savings. We shall also be learning the fundamentals of budgeting and the decision-making process around purchasing or buying something. So let's dig right in. In the first section, we shall discuss savings. Simply put, savings is setting money aside for the future instead of spending it today. We save for the future, and the money we save today can save us tomorrow. But before we get into all the technical details of savings and its importance, let's watch a short video courtesy of Thai Bank, which really has a very important message for all of us. Simply saving is not always enough. We have to be savvy savers. We shall discuss what that means and what we need to watch out for after this short video. Please watch carefully.
ซื้อลูกชิ้นลูกหนึ่งได้ไหมครับอ๋อไม่ได้
ค่าเงินลดลงทุกวันเก็บอย่างเดียวไม่พอ
In this video, the young boy makes all the right decisions. He makes multiple sacrifices over and over again. He saves for his one ultimate objective or goal. Yet, at the end of all of it, it's not enough. There's a very important lesson for all of us. While we should save, we must be savvy about how we save. Inflation may make it difficult or impossible for us to achieve our goals unless we are saving in a way to stay ahead of inflation. While we shall learn about inflation in detail later, in simple terms, inflation refers to the fact that prices increase over time. When we earn money, we can do two things with it. First, we can either spend it or save it. Giving money away in charity is also a kind of spending. Not spending money today and putting it aside for the future is saving. But one should always save first before spending, rather than spending first and hoping that something is left over for savings. Saving whatever amount is remaining is not a good idea, because nothing may be left over if we simply start with spending and hope to save later. Financially savvy people set a certain percentage of their income aside for savings first, and only then start spending the rest. Though there is no exact or correct answer, a good rule of thumb is to set aside 20% of whatever you earn as savings. There is always someone else who is living well enough at 80% of your income, and so you can easily set aside 20% of your income as savings. This is one of my favorite statements about money. If money could speak, it would always tell us, "If you save me today, I will save you tomorrow." But why do we need to save? There are at least 4 good reasons to save. First, the future is unpredictable. We may need money in an emergency. Second, when our savings grow substantially, our purchasing power increases. For example, we can buy a house or a car. Third, savings gives us peace of mind. Fourth, savings allows us more freedom of choice or to take risks. The act of resisting an impulse is to take an immediately available reward in the hope of obtaining a more valued reward in the future is the essence of delayed gratification. Saving is the best example of delayed gratification. By giving up the instant gratification that comes from spending or consuming today, we are opting for delayed gratification by saving our money. Let's watch a short video on the delayed gratification and the famous marshmallow test conducted by Stanford University and how we can train ourselves to get better at resisting instant gratification in our daily lives.
Imagine a scenario where you can take an Uber to work every day for a month, or you can take the bus but go on a nice European holiday at the end of the month. Which one would you choose? The choice is pretty obvious, isn't it? A trip to Europe is much more appealing than daily Uber rides. However, in real life, we tend to choose immediate pleasure and convenience over long-term goals in the future. We indulge in late-night snacks even though we want to become healthier and fitter. We spend money on useless things rather than saving and investing it. Willpower is a scarce commodity in our society, but is critical to your financial stability. Delayed gratification is good for your life. Delaying gratification is the action to resist the temptation of immediate pleasure and wait for bigger rewards in the future. It turns out our ability to delay gratification can predict our success in life. In 1972, researchers at Stanford University conducted a famous marshmallow experiment on delayed gratification. The kids in the study had a choice to make. They can either have 1 marshmallow now or 2 in 15 minutes. Of course, 2 marshmallows are better than 1, but willpower is needed to get a bigger reward. After all, when you're a kid, 15 minutes is a long wait for your favorite snack. The follow-up study from the experiment suggested that the kids who waited for 2 marshmallows were performing better in life. They had higher SAT scores and better health. Experiment aside, it's not hard to see how delaying gratification can be beneficial in real life. Resisting the temptation of that juicy burger can help you stick to your diet and become healthier. Avoiding angry outbursts with other people can help you win more friends and build better relationships. Delayed gratification is also critical to your personal finance. Delayed gratification and money. Delaying gratification is the key to money success. First, let's go back to the choice between daily Uber rides and a European holiday. These two things cost about the same, but it's clear that one can contribute more to your happiness. The lesson here is that by delaying gratification, we can save the money we spend on small things every day and use it to purchase something bigger and better. For example, if you cut down the money you spend on coffee shop coffees, you can save up and buy an awesome espresso machine. Then you can make amazing coffee at home and it can save you money for years to come. If you cook more and eat less takeout, you can save the money for a trip or put it towards buying your first home. Delayed gratification is helpful because by saying no to small temptations every day, you are preparing yourself for something bigger and better. Secondly, the most important reason that delayed gratification is great for your money is that money grows with time. Your money is a seed with the potentials to grow. When you put $1 into a savings account, it earns interest for you, and the interest you earn can generate even more interest. So on and so forth, your money grows faster and faster. This is especially true when you invest your money into a diversified portfolio. By delaying gratification, you give your money the time it needs to grow and make you richer. On the other hand, if you spend that $1 instead of investing it, you're missing out on all its future potentials. How to get better at delaying gratification? Many good things in life require us to sacrifice immediate satisfaction. But how do we get better at delaying gratification? Well, here are 3 tips to help you improve your willpower. Tip number 1. Optimize your life. Research shows that sufficient sleep, healthy eating, and exercise can help you get better at delaying gratification. All these things make you stronger and healthier and put more fuel into your willpower tank. Tip number 2. Focus on your goals. Reminding yourself the goals you're saving for is a great way to improve your willpower. By visualizing achieving your goals, you will find it easier to stick to saving. Tip number 3. Surround yourself with people who have good self-control. As social animals, we're heavily affected by others around us. If you hang around with people with poor self-control, you're setting a low bar for yourself. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who are working towards better goals, you will find it easier to say no to temptations. Too much delayed gratification can be bad. While delaying gratification can help us achieve our long-term goals, it's important not to overdo it. For example, if you cut all your expenses and live off of canned beans, you might be saving a lot of money, but you'll also be miserable. After all, the reason we save money is to live a better life, both now and later. Finding a balance between living in the moment and planning for the future is the key to living a great life.
In the last session, we acquainted ourselves with the basics of saving and learned about the 50, 30, 20 rule. In the next segment, we shall discuss budgeting and how to go about building a budget for ourselves. We will learn how to prepare a budget, how to implement it, and how to improve our budgeting skills over time. So what is budgeting? A budget is an estimation of income or revenue and expenses over a specified future period of time and is usually compiled and reevaluated on a periodic basis. Budgets can be made for a person, a group of people, a family, a business, a government, or just about anything else that makes and spends money. Creating the spending plan allows you to determine in advance whether you will have enough money to do the things you need to do or would like to do. Budgeting helps you keep check on your expenses, and budgeting helps you achieve targeted savings. To manage your monthly expenses, prepare for life's unpredictable events, and be able to afford big-ticket items without going into debt, budgeting is important. Keeping track of how much you earn and spend doesn't have to be drudgery, doesn't require you to be good at math, and doesn't mean you can't buy the things you want. It just means that you'll know where your money goes, and you'll have greater control over your finances. It is really that simple. Before you can begin to budget, you need to identify what is important to you. Then you have a foundation to decide what you want to do with your money. Be realistic when setting your goals. You can always increase your savings later, but start by planning for success. Once you've established some goals for your money, it's time to look at where it comes from and where it goes right now. You will want to separate your needs from your wants. Needs are something that you require because it is essential or very important rather than just desirable, versus a want where you have a desire to possess or do something you wish for. As people track their spending, they discover that some of their money gets used for things they really don't need, or purchasing things that you may or may not need, or spending more on an item than you had planned. A good budget will allow you to map your way to reaching your goals. Before you can go any further, you need to ensure that your expenses are not more than your income. Stick to your budget. Your budget is your financial map. Your spending, eating out, utility bills, and personal spending are all areas that you need to keep a close watch over. This step of implementation is to plan your savings so that you're able to track and manage your seasonal expenses. And of course, any good plan must involve monitoring, periodic review, and occasional reevaluation. A spending plan is no different. Circumstances may change, mistakes can be made, and your needs will vary at different times in your life. Let's watch a short video on budgeting, courtesy of Investopedia.
Having a budget is the difference between being financially responsible and flirting with financial peril. Deborah has made the wise decision to create a budget to organize her finances and prepare for any financial emergencies. Her first step is to determine her net income. The net income is how much money Deborah has left over at the end of the month. This amount is found by using the following equation. Total revenue minus total expenses equals net income. Deborah's revenue is all of the money that she makes in a month. This includes income sources like wages, bonuses, and investment income. Usually, these sources are consistent on a monthly basis. Deborah's expenses include all of her monthly bills, which are broken down into two categories: fixed expenses and variable expenses. Fixed expenses are the payments for bills that are the same every month, such as mortgage, insurance, car loans, cell phone, and cable bills. Deborah's variable expenses are the bills with different totals each month, such as entertainment, groceries, gas, and utilities. Deborah can now deduct her fixed and variable expenses from her revenue. If her revenue is higher than her expenses, she has net income. Deborah can use her net income to build an emergency savings account or invest in her retirement. If her expenses are greater than her revenue, Deborah has a net loss. Deborah must reduce her variable expenses to balance her budget, or she will need to find a way to reduce her fixed costs, such as downsizing her home. By tracking your total revenue and expenses, you can build a budget that quickly determines if you have money to invest or save, or if you're living beyond your means.
So, now that we have mastered savings and budgeting, we are ready to go and make a purchase. Let's talk about purchasing then. What is purchasing? Purchasing is the process a business or organization uses to acquire goods or services to accomplish its goals. Although there are several organizations that attempt to set standards in the purchasing process, processes can vary greatly between organizations. As an individual, purchasing simply means acquiring certain goods or services to achieve some goal of ours. Since 1910, when John Dewey first introduced the 5-stage decision process, it has been a widely accepted concept and still serves as the central pillar of a popular consumer behavior model. These stages are problem recognition, information search, alternative evaluation, purchase decision, and decision evaluation. Essentially, the buyer decision process is a cost-benefit analysis. It outlines the journey a customer takes before and after making a purchase. Analysis of this process helps companies establish more viable marketing strategies. Evaluation is an unsung hero on the road to success. The most successful businesses constantly evaluate and adjust their tactics, always with an end game in mind to make you buy their products. We suggest you do the same. Let's look at the 5 stages one at a time in some detail. We buy things, and marketers try and market or sell things all the time. Let's look at and understand the 5 stages carefully so we can make smart and savvy purchasing decisions. Stage number 1, problem or need recognition. A purchase won't happen without the recognition of a need. The need can be triggered by internal stimuli, such as hunger, or external stimuli, such as jealousy over a neighbor's new car. Regardless of what triggers the need, this decision-making process begins the moment a potential customer becomes aware of a problem that needs resolution, and the search begins. Stage number 2, information search. Customers want to find the best solution to their problem. The second stage of the buyer decision process is the search for information. Research is an important part of the customer journey. Reviews in sites like Amazon, Google, Yelp, etc. are a crucial part of this step. How other people talk about your products or services is very important. Never underestimate the power of social proof. Other research sources are websites, print, visual branding, online media, and of course, word of mouth. When researching their options, consumers again rely on internal and external factors, as well as past interactions with a product or brand, both positive and negative. Step number 3, evaluation of alternatives. Weighing the options is a wise move. As you might guess, people evaluate alternative products when making a purchase decision. They want to make sure that their hard-earned money is solving their need in the best possible way. Customer attitude and level of involvement are influential at this stage. If they have a positive attitude and high involvement, they will consider a number of alternative products or services. If they have a negative attitude and involvement is low, they usually evaluate only one solution. Read customer reviews and compare prices for the substitute products before choosing the product that will satisfy the need in the best possible manner. Careful evaluation of all the alternatives or substitute products available in the market comprises the 3rd stage of the consumer decision-making process. Stage number 4, purchase decision. The 4th stage is when the actual purchase takes place. There are, however, a couple of potential disruptors at this point in the customer journey. The first is negative feedback. Remember the reviews we mentioned before? It's important to have good reviews and testimonials. Do whatever is necessary to ensure that people talk favorably about your business. The second disruptor is classified as unforeseen circumstances. These factors are unrelated to the business, but prevent a sale. This is the moment the consumer has been waiting for, the actual purchase. Once they have gathered all the facts, including feedback from previous customers, consumers should arrive at a logical conclusion on the product or service to purchase. Stage number 5, post-purchase behavior. The final stage of the buyer decision process is how the customer feels after making the purchase. During this stage, customers compare the product or service with their initial expectations. They are either satisfied or dissatisfied. This stage has to do with customer retention. If you're aware of the 80-20 principle, then you know that 80% of your business comes from 20% of your customers. Customer retention is crucial to a sustainable business model. Satisfy your customers and you will attain brand loyalty. This is the goal. In the final stage, consumers evaluate or analyze the purchased product, the usefulness of the product, satisfaction delivered from the product, value of the product with respect to the need fulfillment. Understanding each stage is useful to marketers and companies. As consumers, we should also be well aware of these 5 stages to make savvy purchasing decisions. So, in summary now, let's look at the main takeaways from understanding savings, budgeting, and purchasing. First, we must remember that if we save today, our savings will save us tomorrow. That is the key to a secure and worry-free future. Second, to succeed with the first point, we must always budget, budget, and budget. A budget is a roadmap to our financial freedom and independence. A budget is a plan to succeed. If you do not budget, you plan to fail. Thank you for your time. Until next time then, stay enriched and strong.